whatever, man. Let me ask you, what do you think happens when you take dudes from some illustriously acclaimed bands, in this case Triptykon with Tom Warrior, Hellhammer and Celtic Frost being his first legacies, Dark Fortress, and an assortment of other greats like Profane Omen, etc. And you hear them doing something totally unexpected, because ordinarily, considering what black and doom, hell, heavy metal period sounds like, there's usually some very clear lines its personnel won't cross. But in this particular case, which is something self-described as black grunge, you might hear it and wonder, is it really that far off? I'm gonna tell you about ROOTBRAIN, because they are both damn good and damn interesting. Surprisingly interesting, because look man, I don't know about you, but there was a long period of life where, in my vocabulary, the word grunge was synonymous with the word shit. That was until I unlocked something major that successfully allowed me to love a band like ROOTBRAIN. No bullshit. I'll tell you what it is. What breaks it all open and shows how bands like Grunge Truck, Tad, Skinyard, and Alice in Chains were actually pretty damn good after all, are two albums by who other than Black Sabbath, Cross Purposes and Forbidden. You understand those albums, you understand arguably a major reason why grunge ever existed. So, ever wondered what some actual blackened wizards from across the pond would sound like trying to do Seattle? Okay, I'll tell ya. Two releases, last year's full-length Breakwater and this year's single Number One Crush, a garbage cover all bruised up. That's the lead single off next January's Mother Tomb EP on Corpse Paint Records. Rather than just giving you some snotty track-by-track analysis you probably don't care about, I'm just gonna give you the major notes, because you're gonna hear what you hear regardless of my bullshit. Here's the spew. ROOTBRAIN is not just a complete mastering of Seattle. I mean, it is, but in my opinion, it's better. And the reason I say that is because there's things about this band comprised of Jules Näveri on vocals, Profane Omen in his background, V. Santura, lead guitar, Triptykon and Dark Fortress resume, Hurja Helle, rhythm guitar, Dauntless and Bone Mechanics, Thomas Wright on bass and also band coordinator, Kuolemanlaakso most recently, and Fat Tony on drums, also Kuolemanlaakso, that do not allow their roots to be completely masked. One quick example, Jules' vocals. His Euro accent's mildly noticeable, which is pretty damn interesting, because when did you ever hear somebody like Lane Staley sounding Finnish? But you know when you did hear somebody European singing over music like this? Fucking Tony Martin, man, that's right. Virtual Death, Rusty Angels, Illusion of Power, take your pick. And the rasp is there too. Jules' rasp does remind you of Tony's. I'll die on that hill, man. So it's truly a Euro metal take on grunge. But while it's got all the drab, rainy, army green, and gray qualities, I feel like for as badly as these guys are trying to replicate Seattle, and they do, ROOTBRAIN's very good, above average musicianship won't allow them to completely descend to common criticism of grunge like you heard a lot in the 90s. Basically what I'm trying to say is that these are just extremely well executed, well constructed songs with precision, even if it ain't remotely shred or Yngwie or something, but it's still unquestionably grunge. And like, Breakwater would have been perfect in the late 90s when Century Media was signing bands that sounded like this, and you ended up hearing them on the Identity compilations, and like, shit man, even Metal Blade too on Metal Meister. Cause two words, Galactic Cowboys. Black Honey's maybe my favorite song. Don't ask me why it reminds me of Rusty Angels' Black Sabbath, because it sounds nothing like it, but maybe I'm on acid right now or something. I don't know. Sometimes some of the guitar work is like, okay, this is a big descriptor. Remember that period of time around 91 when hair started disappearing and you suddenly saw some rockers who kept their long hair but started looking a little slobbier by choice? Possibly because subconsciously they maybe started noticing that dark cloud on the horizon known as alternative. Time out quickly. This is not alternative. No goddamn way. Because that shit can go straight to hell as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I'm slightly quoting Zebra Boy from Heavy Metal Parking Lot. But some of the guitar work has that kind of post-91 metal feel. Make of that what you will, because that's exactly what it is. It's a feel I got. When the right words fail to appear, all that's left is a feeling. So take it or leave it. Think moments from Kit Tracy, Life, Sex, and Death if they'd made a second album. What's up, Alex Kane? Please get the band back together. together, but it does stray from grunge sometimes, very blatantly too, and it goes back to sounds that I think these dudes grew up with primarily, because it has parts that rock, especially on Hate Mongers and Gone by the Waves. Yeah, these dudes might hate me for saying this, and I sincerely hope they don't, because I admire the absolute hell out of them for writing their music, but it does conjure up LA a little, man. I'm sorry, but it just does. Maybe it's somebody stepping on the wah-wah pedal, I don't know. This is the band that opens for Kiss on the Alive Worldwide reunion, and you're like, man, those guys were fucking awesome. Who the hell were they? Because ROOTBRAIN were probably like, alright, we're gonna write songs with a certain purpose in mind, yes, but if at any moment while we're jamming, if we start suddenly losing our shit and rocking out, fuck it, man, we are keeping it. Music be our guide. You know, kind of like Judas be my guide, Iron Maiden. A New Leash on Life's a good example, because there's a part with like, it's not a blast beat, it's not really even a fast D beat, it's just this kind of really interesting like, well, I mean, yeah, it's a fucking blast beat, alright? But it's a grunge blast, if something like that ever existed. Well, shit, I guess it does now. And another note on Jules' voice. He does these very, very passionate sounding yells like, I swear to God, I'm not just on Vicodin right now and feeling all buzzy and warm or something, but when he lets his voice soar, when he really sends it, it's a very emotional type of thing where you want to just be like, yeah, man, I really feel that. Great illustration in Floating Feathers, the last song on Breakwater. Remember that part in Spinal Tap when Nigel's talking about people crying when they hear Lick My Love Pump because it's just so deep? I'd say that's the entirety of Floating Feathers. Lion Tamer has a Fool's Shine On, Brother Kane, Local H type of feel. You know, I really, really hope these guys had fun when they were playing this. I sincerely do, because this album feels like a gift, you know? So at the very least, you just hope their labor process was enjoyed. Maybe I'm just saying that too, because when you think about what the mindset of people like Lane Staley and Cobain and Wood from Mother Love Bone was, that being pretty damn grim and depressing, you obviously hope these dudes aren't all fucked up inside like the other guys were. Now, the latest track, Number One Crush. All I'm gonna say is this, lyrically, if you're going through a breakup and just need to laugh at your situation instead of letting it eat you all up, just listen to this, man. It'll make you laugh, even though I think it's a tongue-in-cheek type of thing about a stalker is what I'm pretty sure it's actually about, so. But no, musically, sure, it's a somewhat similar formula to what you hear on the full length, but if you really, really want to dig deep, I'm gonna say I can honestly hear it somewhere on Balls to Picasso, Bruce Dickinson's second solo album, which, hey man, I have heard some people call that grunge. Look, I'm just telling you what I heard. Don't shoot the messenger. And I even could hear Devin Townsend doing a track like this. But I hope to high hell I never find myself in a situation where I'm feeling what the lyrics of this song are like. You will believe in me. I will never be ignored. Look, those lines may be a threat, but the way they sound in this song are fucking cool, man. And you know what else? Maybe just because I, like many other fellas out there at one point, have felt heartbreak and know the lengths you go to just to see her again, I'm gonna say I hope it works out for the dude. Yeah, I hope they get back together, he and whoever he's talking about. So that's it, man. There you fucking go. ROOTBRAIN from Finland. If you came up on grunge before you bought your first leather jacket, or if it was the other way around, if you were like me and heard Cross Purposes and Forbidden and you were like, you know, I kinda like this stuff, then I ain't got a shred of doubt you will love ROOTBRAIN just like I do. But in the meantime, I am out of here, man. So if you did like this video, cool, maybe you could give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then flannel your ass right into that subscribe button. And we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew. But until then, later, my friends.